All right, it is Spotify rap season, Sydney.
That's exciting.
And aside from lots of complaints on social media about people posting their
God forbid.
rap, God forbid,
God forbid.
we have all of the biggest, all of the most streamed artists and songs
I'm interested.
from
You can tell me
2022.
this.
So, top 5 artists.
Okay.
Maybe not too many surprises here. Bad Bunny,
Ugh.
Taylor Swift,
Okay.
Drake, The Weeknd, and BTS. So
All right.
all big art, obviously major, huge artists. Some people might be a little surprised, maybe. My wife
Bad
included,
Bunny?
that Taylor Swift is behind Bad Bunny, but Bad Bunny has been the most streamed artist globally for 2 years now.
That's weird. I mean, I guess
So-
it's not. Globally, that's nice, but I'm sorry, Kinsetta, about Taylor Swift. She probably wanted her to be number one.
Number one song, as it was, by Harry Styles. Noteworthy,
classic.
I thought that Harry Styles wasn't in the top 5 most streamed artists because I feel like he's definitely always in that conversation. It's weird,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then the number one podcast was the Joe Rogan Experience. I don't know how. Maybe it's just because the episodes are like all 4.5 hours long, and it's just
thank
a
you.
matter of like
Playing
there's
it.
so much of the content out there in the universe that it just happens to be the most played.
4
stuff.
hours long. That's
His
insane.
episode, those podcast episodes are notoriously long. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need a lot of time. You need
Yeah,
lot of
that's a
time.
lot of concentration too. Maybe that we're finding with that, a lot of people have it just playing in the background.
Playing in the background, and the clips are like all like they break down clips like there's no tomorrow. But so we
boy.
need to talk.
Okay.
What was your most streamed song of 2022?
Well, I have said this before. I feel like sometimes Spotify does it, and I listen to so many different genres, but they really like put me in one category this year around, and it was lots of country. My most streamed song, people probably don't even know that much. It's called She Likes It, and it's by Russell Dickerson. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yes.
You
yes,
do?
I do.
I was
yes.
wondering how similar
Yes.
our type of genres and top artists would be. So
I
I'm
think there's so, like we were talking about during the last segment while we were off air, I was harassed by a couple of nameless individuals, maybe a producer here of the show.
How rude.
Last year because Jordan Davis was in my top 5.
Okay.
And, you know, it's kind of an off-brand genre or off-brand country artist, I guess.
I don't think so. I mean, me who likes country a lot, so
Yeah.
that producer, you know, I'd like to know what his top 5 are too. We'll have to ask him when he
well,
comes back.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
whoever the person is.
Not me.
It's definitely not Paul. We know Paul is a rockaholic over there. Apparently he just loves rock music. So my most streamed song of 2022, oddly enough, was, and this is because when I'm running, there's certain kinds of music I like to listen to.
Yeah.
Scrape It Off by Pusha T. Which I'm
No
not sure,
way.
like
I
most
love
of
that.
our viewers are probably not going to actually even know that song, but
I know that song.
it's a great song if you're working out, if you're doing any kind of cardio.
Gets your heart
And it
pumping.
was, yeah, it just makes you go. So who were your top 5 artists?
Again, they really like put me in one category. Where is it? Oh, top 5 artists. My number 1 artist was Morgan Wallen. That's like, for country people, I feel like right now that's really good. My number 2 was Hardy. I don't know if you know. He is like just come out recently. He was country, but now he's more like Kid Rock type vibes. That was my second one. Dylan Scott is another country artist. Then I had Lee Bryce coming in 4th, and then I had Taylor Swift 5th. So
Taylor Swift did make it into, so that's interesting
did,
because
yeah.
the reporting period for where Spotify is pulling this data from ends October 31st. And I wondered because of when her most recent album was released,
Yeah.
I wondered if it was going to miss, but apparently,
So
no,
do you think that means I'm a true Swiftie?
I guess so, because it means you were listening to Taylor Swift all year.
Yeah, I was.
Sounds terrible. So Khalid was my number 1 most streamed
Okay,
artist
love
of
him.
the year.
All right, Josh.
He's sneaky, right? Because he's not somebody that you're necessarily hearing on Top 40 radio all the time, but he's
Yeah.
got a million hits at this point, and he's got a ton of monthly streamers. Blast was my number 2 artist,
I don't even know who that
which
is.
if you don't listen to any R&B or like some of the Sirius XM R&B
Okay.
rap channels, you're probably not going to know who that is. Pusha T. Chris Brown was my 4th most streamed artist, only because he's featured on 900,000 EDM
Yeah.
remixes. Like he's in every single one of those songs, it seems. And then number 5, which I think is the one that would take you maybe by a little bit surprise, Morgan Wallen.
Woo! Oh, look at that. We are more similar than we thought, okay? We have some, well, not really. Yours is hilarious, so I do love
It's
it.
all
but
over
you
the
can-
board.
It's very,
It's literally just all over the board.
but also you working out every single day, I think that definitely helped with some of that. I love when this comes out because you're like, what type of person am I?
So what was your music personality according to Spotify?
Oh, I am the early adopter, which means that I'm always seeking the next hot thing, and if there is a song that's trending, I'm on it.
That's such a strange, like, what does that even mean? Like, how do you find, like, if somebody said to you, how do you find new music right now from an artist that you've never heard of before?
I definitely search Spotify. So it makes sense for me. I feel like
Do you use their recommendation system to, like, try and, like, navigate around that?
sometimes, but I also like say I hear a song on the radio quick, or if I hear it like on a show or on the TV, I will go to Spotify and I will search them and I will listen to it. I like to look at the lyrics too and sometimes read about them. So maybe mine does make a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Like as much as I was like, oh, what the heck? I thought I'd be like, oh, the music genre guru listens to all different types, but nope.
Was
I'm
there
a
anything
trending
that,
girl.
like, actually, like, really shocked the hell out of you in terms of what you saw on your, as you go back through it?
Not really. I thought it was hilarious that my genres basically have something to do with pop. So I was
Yeah.
number 1 was country, number 2 was pop, number 3 was pop rap, number 4 was pop rock, and number 5 was dance pop. So I'm like, that kind of goes with my personality. I'm a little poppy.
And I also feel like that's just like all music in general now. Like
Yeah.
all music
Yeah.
is blending more towards pop music. So, you know, how is it not
Pop rock.
blend? Yeah,
Pop rock. I was like,
Paul,
Yes.
we need to know. What
Are you different than
who
us?
are you? What was your number one most streamed song?
Yeah. So this is an interesting one, and look, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to run away from putting mine up for the folks at home.
Oh, good.
So
Everybody can
apparently,
see it.
apparently,
There.
apparently, in my mind, it's 2012 still. By the way,
Oh, yes.
the part I don't understand this. Josh brings back your point. I don't understand Old Town Road is my top song. I don't think I've heard it since June.
Well,
So
I think you're secretly listening
Yeah.
to Old Town Road a lot.
I mean, maybe, but like Eminem's my top artist.
I love that.
Then Eric Church, and then the Rolling Stones, AC/DC, and Lynyrd Skynyrd. So
Oh, I'm
top,
so jealous.
top genre of rock, but yeah, to piggyback, I guess, off of what you guys said, my top genre is rock, then it's rap, then country, then disco, and then dance pop. So
Disco. Paul,
I'm literally
the
all
disco
over the
connoisseur.
board. Yeah,
Disco.
Yeah. I'm all over the board. So.
I'm jealous. I want my top 5 to look like yours, Paul. Like I
Yeah.
listened to all of that music too, but they were like, "No, you listen to way too much country." this
Apparently
year."
not enough.
I know.
Apparently you're not listening enough to that.
I will tell you that once I looked at it yesterday and this morning, I really was changing my genres up on my way into work. I was like, I am not going to be categorized as just that country
But
girl.
it doesn't count. You have to wait until January.
Well, I'm getting it prepared for
Okay.
next year.
All right. Well, on the other side of this break, we're going to be talking with home leasing CEO Brett Garwood.